What is up, everybody? This is Brian with Mustard and Mayo, and today I'm going to be driving the route for the next Mustard and Mayo MegaMeat. I don't even know which number we're on anymore. I just know this is the April 2023 meet. So this is going to be the route. So I can't get there, unfortunately, but back behind me there is the Pisgah Inn and the convenience store that's part of that. I am hoping that will be open. Right now they're doing some construction and some paving and everything there. So the plan would be to meet over there. If you've been to the meets before, you know, just to meet in the lower parking lot as close to the convenience store as possible. That way we're not anywhere near the hotel and the guests that are there. And it's a little bit easier. The parking lot's a little bit more wide open. So once we pull out of the Pisgah Inn, we're just going to head this direction or head north on the Blue Ridge Parkway and head basically all the way to 215. All right, so right now I'm at the first, I guess you could call it the alternate stop or the optional stop. This is the Devil's Courthouse pull-off here on the Parkway. The reason why I say this is an alternate or optional pull-off is I would love to stop here for the meet, but this has got a really small parking lot. I think the only way we could probably fit in here is if we line up here and then use whatever parking spaces are left. It's a really cool spot to check out for anybody that hasn't been here. So if we don't actually stop on this point on the drive, it's at least a really great point to kind of keep saved on your phone for future, because you can actually hike up to the top of the rocks way up there, wherever my finger is, way up there on the mountain. And you can actually look down at the parking lot. It's a really cool hike. It's really not too bad. It's like maybe a half mile up. And if that, maybe it is a half mile. I don't know. But either way, it's a really cool view and something to check out if you're wanting to keep this route and check it out in the future. All right, here's the intersection for 215 South. It kind of sneaks up on you around a blind corner, but you can see it's a right turn here, and we'll be heading south. And the way I've got the route built this time around is we'll be doing a bit of a figure eight with 215 and I guess you could say 107 and kind of 276 as well. But we'll continue on to the right here, heading south towards Rosman or through Balsam Grove. You can see it crosses underneath of the parkway here. So if there's any confusion on where to go, just look over the bridge and you should see the train of cars. So right now I'm at the base of 215, all the way where it meets up with Highway 64. The stop on the map is Headwaters Outfitters. Now this is actually not a stop. It's basically just pointing out where we're going to be turning right. So right here is the stop sign for Highway 64. Where that Volvo is turning, we will actually turn to the right. Let me show you what it looks like. So again, there is 215, and we will end up right down here. We will hit this stop sign and take a right on Highway 64 West, and next road will be 107. So a quick little interjection here. It is weird because last time I made one of these videos and before last year's meet, I was in this car, and where I just took that video at Headwaters Outfitters was as far as I got. Well, I made it home, but the last time I did this was when the F80 acted up and had a bad fuel injector, and I had to limp it home and throw it together before the meet. So.
All right, so enjoying some back roads, and of course I get this lovely little notification. And then of course, as you can see on the gauge cluster here, the RPMs have greatly been limited. I'm basically just coasting down the mountain right now. I have what I believe is a misfire.
So it's nice that it's been a bit of time since then, and I've put a lot of miles in the car since then, got everything sorted out, and it feels good today. So just a side note, a little bit of PTSD when I came through on 215, especially stopped at Headwaters Outfitters, but glad to say everything's doing great, and I can't wait to continue the drive. All right, so for whatever reason, I keep saying 107, but the road's actually 281. So this is a right turn, it's 281 north. And this is a pretty straight shot on this road up until we hit the first bathroom break, which is the little park. I think it's called Little Canada Park or something like that. But this is a great road. It's a little bumpy, it can be a little gravelly. Same with, what is it, Charlie's Creek or whatever's the next one. But either way, great road. Make sure to take the right and have fun. It's kind of a cool spot. View out there. Small river, body of water of some kind on 281. Little parking area there to the left, and then it's right back into it. So at the top of 281, you could continue and take this pretty much to Silva, but this is a right turn right here at the old abandoned church, which is kind of actually neat to check out. And right over here is the Little Canada Park, recreational park or whatever it's called, which is the first bathroom break and regrouping of the drive. And it'll be just before we hit our next stop at lunch. So I'll check out the park and then continue on. All right, here is the parking area at the Little Canada Recreational Park, or whatever this thing is called. You can see the entrance is there. We have over here restrooms. We've got a covered area for anybody that needs to get out and maybe take a break. We've got a little play area for kids if you've got kids with you, and then usually just enough parking for everybody. I think last time I counted, there's like 40 parking spots here or something like that. And just like today, it's usually never busy. It's almost wide open all the time, so it's a perfect place to stop. And then once we are done here, we will actually take a left and basically head north on Charlie's Creek. And that's another kind of bumpy road, kind of like 281, but it's kind of a fun country road. And that'll take us back to 215, where we would have just come down earlier. And this is where we'll actually start the figure eight, and we'll continue up 215, up to the Parkway, and all the way to Jukebox Junction. So without any further ado, let's get going. All right, this is the back end of Charlie's Creek, probably the last mile or so before it links up with 215. And I will say this last mile or so is definitely the bumpiest. You've got to really be paying attention to the road, as there could be washouts like this whole section right here as we come towards the end. So you just have to be careful. When we get towards the end of the road, I will kind of slow it down. There's a huge washout there on the right side, big old pothole. And then you can see right here is 215 again. So we would have passed this already and would have gone south, but now we will take the left on 215 and we'll continue north and take this all the way to Jukebox Junction. Waterfall. All right, coming out at the end of 215 north, where it meets up with 276. We will be taking a right here And the lunch spot, Jukebox Junction, will be immediately on the right. I'll see if I can show you here. Here's a gas station for those that might need to top off, or if they want to grab a snack for the road. But then we will rendezvous and stop for food here on the right, Jukebox Junction, Soda Shop and Grill. It's pretty good food. I'm gonna check in with them and get some food myself. All right, so just finished eating a little bit of lunch myself over here at Jukebox Junction. I went ahead and got us put on the calendar for the 1st. So they actually have a little back room that seats about 50 people. That'll be available for us with some extra seating if for some reason we have more people than that. So there's plenty of parking, there's gonna be plenty of seats, and they've got a pretty good process for handling multiple orders and checks. It's actually a pretty good local establishment here. So we'll go ahead and head on the road, head on 276 all the way over into Brevard, where we'll hook kind of on the 276 again through DuPont State Forest and head on down to Caesar's Head. So we'll see you in just a little bit. So unfortunately we've hit traffic, but this is the upper portion of, well not the well I guess you call the upper portion of 276. Here's a cool little waterfall here off to the right. That's why we're all going so slow right now, all the rubberneckers checking it out. So this last few miles is what's up to the parkway, and then once we cross under the parkway, we'll continue down 276 with a optional stop at Looking Glass Falls, depending on the traffic that day, how many people are at the pull-off, and how large the group is. But it's on the route either way, so we'll either pass it or we'll stop by. But at least for those in the future, they can check it out if for some reason you've lived your entire life and not made it to Looking Glass. But yeah, good section of road. Hopefully when we're on the meet, we'll get a little bit more space, as it's a fun section of road from here to the waterfall. All right, here is the pull-off for Looking Glass Falls. I'll go ahead and dip in over here and give you a quick preview of it. I thought we were going to try I got forward. All right, as we come into Pisgah Forest down 276, we will continue straight through the main red light here and continue on to Highway 64, which will take us to Crab Creek Road, which will take us through the Augusta Forest and on to 276. And here's the right turn for Crab Creek Road. There's a marathon right here on the corner, which I am going to go ahead and stop off and top off a little bit of premium. So we'll continue down that road and head on down to 276. And here's the right for DuPont Road. We will be on here all the way to 276, going towards Caesar's Head and the South Carolina border. Lots of good hiking and biking through here. All right, so this is the end of the route. I don't really think I need to show you Highway 276. It's one of the staples on my route, but once we're done with Highway 276 by Caesar's Head, this is Caesar's Head State Park. It's a little bit darker than when I started, mainly because I actually took a quick detour to Pretty Place, which is always worth the trip. I don't think we'll be able to do it on this, just because we'll have too many people, and more than likely with it being a Saturday, there will be an event or something like that. But this is going to be the end of the route right here. So really good route. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on the meet. And as always, have a great day.